The federal police, PF, indicted Jair Bolsonaro and 36 other people on suspicion of an attempted coup d'état to keep the former president in power after the 2022 elections. Among those indicted are also General Walter Braga Netto, who was a candidate for vice president on the losing ticket with Bolsonaro in 2022, and General Augusto Heleno, who headed the Institutional Security Office, GSI, during Bolsonaro's government. The indictment means that the PF has seen enough facts to consider that Bolsonaro, Braga Netto and Cid participated in the coup plot that attempted to remove the mandate of the president elected in 2022, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, PT. The final report with the conclusion of the investigation was sent to the Supreme Federal Court, STF, and accuses the indicted of the crimes of violent abolition of the democratic rule of law, coup d'état and criminal organization. The PF says it has obtained evidence that proves such crimes throughout the investigation that has been going on for almost 2 years, through the breaking of telematic, telephone, banking and tax confidentiality, plea bargaining, searches and seizures, among other measures duly authorized by the judiciary. The investigations showed that the suspects were structured through a division of tasks, which allowed the individualization of the conduct and the confirmation of the existence of the following groups. A. Disinformation and attacks on the electoral system unit. B. Unit responsible for inciting military personnel to join the coup d'état. C. Legal unit. D. Operational unit to support coup actions. E. Parallel intelligence unit. F. Operational unit for compliance with coercive measures. With the delivery of the report, the PF concluded the investigations of the case. What happened on January 8? On January 8, 2023, supporters of former President Jair Bolsonaro, PL, invaded and vandalized the headquarters of the three powers in Brasilia, National Congress, Planalto Palace and Supreme Federal Court. Several of those who participated in the attack carried signs and chanted slogans calling for military intervention and insulting Supreme Federal Court, STF, Minister Alexandre de Moraes, who is conducting several investigations targeting Bolsonaro supporters. The attack occurred just 1 week after the inauguration of President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, PT, who defeated Bolsonaro at the polls in the narrowest election in the country's history, 50.9% to 49.1%. Jair Bolsonaro did not immediately acknowledge his defeat, breaking with a political tradition in which candidates publicly speak out immediately after the election results are announced. When he finally spoke out, 40 hours after the results, Bolsonaro made an ambiguous statement, stating, "The current popular movements are the result of indignation and a feeling of injustice regarding how the electoral process took place. Peaceful movements will always be welcome, but our methods cannot be those of the left, which have always harmed the population." The demonstrations on January 8 were the culmination of the movement of Bolsonaro supporters on social media and in camps spread across the country, bringing together supporters of the former president who were dissatisfied with Bolsonaro's failure to be re-elected and mobilized by fake news that pointed out, among other things, flaws in the electoral system that were never proven. The federal police indicted former President Jair Bolsonaro, his former defense minister, General Braga Netto, and his former aide-de-camp, Lieutenant Colonel Mauro Cid for attempted coup d'état. In total, 37 people were indicted by the PF for the crimes of violent abolition of the democratic rule of law, coup d'état and criminal organization. See the list. Ailton Goncalves Moraes Barros. Alexander Castillo Bittencourt da Silva. Alexander Rodrigues Ramagem. Almar Garnier Santos. Amory Fears Saad. Anderson Gustavo Torres. Anderson Lima de Mora. Angelo Martins de Nicoli. Augusto Heleno Ribeiro Pereira. Bernardo Romeo Correa Neto. Carlos Cesar Moretzin Rocha. Carlos Giovanni Delavedi Piscini. Cleverson Ney Magalhães. Estevam Calories Theófilo Gaspar de Oliveira. Fabricio Moreira de Bastos. Felipe Garcia Martins. Fernando Ceramido. Giancarlo Gomez Rodriguez. Guilherme Marques de Almeida. Elio Ferreira Lima. Jair Messias Bolsonaro. José Eduardo de Oliveira e Silva. Lercio Virgilio. Marcelo Bormavet. Marcelo Costa Camara. Mario Fernandes. Mauro Cesar Barbosa Cid. Nilton Diniz Rodrigues. Paulo Renato de Oliveira Figueiredo Filho. Paulo Sergio Nogueira de Oliveira. Rafael Martins de Oliveira. Ronald Ferreira de Araújo Jr. Sergio Ricardo Cavalier de Medeiros. Tercio Arnaud Tomás. Valdemar Costa Neto. Walter Souza Braga Netto. Vladimir Matos Soares.